Okay, folks, this is the special regular meeting for August 21st. I want to apologize that we didn't have the meeting last night. Didn't get an opportunity to have the meeting yesterday. Had to make a trip to Frankfurt. We will have some announcements here in a few days. We did have a good trip and got a lot of good information, and we're going to have an announcement here in probably 7 to 14 days. I think a lot of folks will be happy with, but that's just that's what we have to do. We have to get down there and talk to these folks in Frankfurt and try to bring home the bacon. So unfortunately, we had to move the meeting back, but just wanted to let everyone know what's happened. We want to try to be consistent on our meetings as possible. We want to now call the meeting to order. Myra, would you like to call roll, please?
Yes. Judge Executive Robbie Williams.
Present.
County Attorney Keith Bartley.
Here.
County Treasurer David Lane.
Here.
Magistrate District 1 Mark Ryder.
Here.
Magistrate District 2 George Usley.
Here.
Magistrate District 3 Mike Tackett.
Here.
And Magistrate District 4 Ronnie Yates.
Here.
Myra, would you lead us in prayer today?
Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you, Father, for allowing us together this evening. We ask you, Lord, to bless this court, dear Lord, and each citizen that is represented here in this courtroom this evening. We ask you, Lord, to allow this court to make any and all decisions for the betterment of the citizens of this county, dear Jesus. And we ask all of these things in your sweet Son's precious name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. If anyone wants to buy a chance on the quilt, that's for the senior citizens. Keith, is it appropriate if I make them buy a chance if they want a public comment? $2. $2. Oh, okay. But that is for the senior citizens. If anyone asks.
Ed illegally sells UK basketball tickets, once a year or so.
Uh-oh.
I guess you can sell them. But you got immunity, right?
Thank you all for your support, though. That's what that is for. That's for senior citizens. We're trying to do some events for them, and we're going to have a drawing. They're $2 each. Thank you, though. Can we get approval of the minutes from the last meeting?
Second.
Myra, will you call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Ryder.
Yes.
Magistrate George Usley.
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Tackett.
Yeah.
And Magistrate Ronnie Yates.
Four.
Treasurer's report. David, anything that we need to report?
No, not, they've got it in front of them, Judge. Disbursements is up a little bit, but you had your liability and workers' comp insurance.
And asphalting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, had asphalt, but thank you, I appreciate that. Something else that we'd like to report, we did get an additional $626,000 in co-severance funds that will be distributed to Floyd County. The reason for the increase was the allocation process at the state level. What they initially budgeted for in co-severance funds was actually exceeded by $15 million, and 100% of that money, if it exceeds the budget, comes back to the counties. So our portion here in Floyd County was $626,000, which is great for us. It's going to help us to shore up our budget and take care of some things that we need to take care of. Also, we got a $75,000 grant from Rural Development for the installation of the floor at the new community center. That's going to go a long way toward deferring some of that cost. David, I think we had looked at using our co-severance money for that. I think we're going to go ahead and pull that request and use the $75,000 that we got in the grant for the flooring up there. E911, anything to report, sir?
Just, well, the matrix will know, I'm a little bit behind on my sign making. The national vendor we buy our sign blanks from actually went out of business, so it's been a little bit of a struggle to find somebody, but we're finalizing the process right now on the pricing with a local vendor in Langley to actually make our signs here. So I should start getting signs here in the next few weeks.
Okay, thank you, Tim, appreciate it. Solid waste report, Joe? 2 minutes.
All right, 2 minutes. Solid waste, at this time, seems like our trash pickup has leveled off. They're doing better, quite a bit better. We're not getting hardly any calls. They do have occasional mishaps, and, you know, people get upset and call in. Very rare. It looks like they are working to get that, or have got that, back on track. One of the bigger things that they've got to work on, but it's still the dumpsters. They've got to repair the dumpsters and get commercial dumpsters out here, because it's causing trash to get out in the community. When they dump them, the bottom opens up and it comes out. They still haven't got that lined out just yet. So hopefully, I talked to them, they said they're going to get them refurbished, get them back in here. We've been working on the outdated solid waste bill list. It's been pretty productive over the last month, finding what homes is actually there, what ones is not there. Some of them's not even livable, and they've been being billed, and we've quit billing them.
Collection still
Yeah.
moving along good?
Yeah, and we picked up 10 new customers that wasn't getting billed this past month. Well, yeah, this past month since we talked last. And most of this comes from the Garrett and Wheelwright area. And that's because it's not on the water bill, pretty much. That's where I've been staying, working, to find these homes. Every now and then we'll find one down on Mud Creek, or maybe out toward Caney out here at David or whatever, but that's about all. Our team that picks up our trash along the roadways, they picked up 9 more tons this past month. They've worked Abbott Creek, Route 850, Stevens Branch, West Garrett, Rock Fork Road, Pinhook, Mare Creek, Pike Ford Holler, Just Tell, 2030 printer over in the Little Mud, and also we went down. This is a big note, just like I talked about up on Mud Creek on 979. In April, we picked up this road, Salem Church Road, going out to H.C. Hackney. Well, they have guys come in. They're top-notch level people come into them every so often, and they request us we can help out a little bit. It gets pretty bad through there. I would have never dreamed this. We picked it up in April for them then. They asked us again. We went back the other day, got 52 bags. And then how far is it from the stop sign to H.D. Hackney, just back to the railroad track?
Half a mile.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy.
Is it
52
half mile
bags.
run?
probably.
52 bags in 4 months.
That's just off the charts. Also, we took off 2 tons of tires during that time. But besides that, that's all I got.
And
Joe?
on that same note, and I talked to Joe there earlier, several of the signs that he's put up throughout the county, or in my district, no dumping, they're gone.
Yeah, some people's borrowed.
Somebody is borrowing the
There's been
signs.
about 3 or 4 been borrowed.
Maybe we could sell them back
And,
to them to make some road signs with.
And they just didn't take the pole and jiggle it out and take it. They actually took time.
They
and
just took the sign, they didn't
sign
take the pole.
Took it off.
with wrenches.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about it.
Well,
Judge, I got another, I had a couple, 2 or 3, older people, elderly people call me in the last couple of weeks about, refrigerators, I think, or washer, dryer, something. But is there any way that we can, put the phone numbers out, who do we need to call, or who they need to call? I talked to Joe about it. I give them my numbers, but, maybe if people on Left Beaver and Right Beaver would, if we could get maybe the transfer station, if they, where it would be long distance, to get that number. And maybe Murray could put it in the paper, and then maybe on Facebook, we can post the numbers.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that's what we want to do, especially on the appliances. We wanted to do an appliance pickup.
Yeah.
You want to try to. I mean, we're going to have another event this fall, but it's going to be a 2-day event rather than all week, because we've got a little momentum going right now, and people were happy with what's taking place. Joe's doing a really good job. I mean, I'm having folks tell me the county looks the best it's looked in a long time. But that's a combination of Joe's crew and then the jail, the guys from the jail, they're going out as well too, cutting weeds and picking up trash. So we've got roughly 12, 13 people out here doing this.
Have you got the transfer station number, Joe, that you could give?
Oh, yeah, it's 606-285-0033.
And then they could call the judge's office at 886-9193, or my number is
Yes,
226.
yeah.
And back, and of course, back during the last cleanup in April, we did pick up a lot of appliances then. Cause we said we was gonna do an appliance thing, but when they started calling in, they said, well, there's more appliances than anything else. So I said, we'll just take them, we'll get them. So we just started taking them in. And we took off a lot.
Yeah.
Luckily, y'all got us a nice truck to do that with, the judge and the fiscal court. So we was able to really move a lot of that type of big items with minimal waste of time and fuel. So that's pretty good.
Well, I appreciate you going out to the schools and picking up before the schools opened. I appreciate that. That's good. I was at the Conservation District a couple evenings ago. They had an awards ceremony. They're going to they have some grant money. They're going to actually start helping with an education program in the school system.
That's good.
That's what we need to do. We need to get these kids on the right track early.
Yeah.
They're going to do that, but they also said they had some grant funds to clean up some of these dump sites, but they didn't have the labor to do it. So we told them, hey, if you've got the money, we got the people to do the work. Let's work together. So we're going to work with the Conservation District, and hopefully we can get an extension on keeping your guys on up a little later in the year.
Yeah.
And getting some of these dumps and things cleaned up. I really believe if we stay on this for the next 12, 24 months, we should have a good handle on everything.
Yeah,
But thank you for cleaning up around the schools, Joe. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Tony contacted me on conservation over there. He did make contact.
Okay. Appreciate it. Citizens' comments, 2 minutes. Quickly before we do the citizens' comments, so let me get Ned. Ned Pillersdorf. Ned is involved with the Eric C. Kahn situation that's occurred. He has an update, and I think this is a lot of very important information that we'd like to pass along. I think it's good news for a lot of folks in Floyd County and for Floyd County as a whole. Thank you, Ned, for coming out.
Appreciate you having me, Judge. It's 4.5 years ago, a true humanitarian crisis started in this county. I know there's been a lot of publicity about one of our most famous citizens, Mr. Khan. What's been less paid attention to is the 3,600 former clients of his who have been targeted by the Social Security Administration. 4.5 years ago, the Memorial Day weekend, 900 local residents got letters immediately suspending their benefits. The suicide started. Leroy Birch had committed suicide, and I was actually in his courtroom It was packed. We had an emergency meeting at the Floyd Bar Association when we got to order Melissa Jude committed suicide. And the SSA, Social Security Administration, began their unfair assault on the former clients of Mr. Khan. And make no mistake, the people they targeted are some of the most destitute, vulnerable people in our community. It's been a 4.5-year legal battle, a true crisis. The reason I'm here today is one of the unusual problems, myself as an attorney, and by the way, I'm here as part of the legal team. Been 150 volunteer lawyers, 50 lawsuits that pitched in. And one of the problems we have had, and where you all can help and the media can help, we don't know who these clients are. Everything in Social Security is confidential. What has happened is, about 2 miles up the road, the Social Security Administration began what I call their Joe McCarthy hearings. Even though there's zero evidence that any former Khan client had any idea that Mr. Khan was driving up to the gas station in Louisa and bribing the judge, there's always been a sense that they must have been involved in this conspiracy. In fact, you won't find a Khan client who actually met Mr. Khan. Up the road in 2 miles, the Social Security office where they had thousands of hearings, and every hearing was a Joe McCarthy hearing. The reason I say that is every hearing started out with saying, oh, you're Mr. Khan's client. There's been a secret finding of fraud that you can't challenge. And any of the evidence you have that was generated as a result of Mr. Khan's office is automatically inadmissible. We challenged that in the court system as being unconstitutional. It took forever, but this past Thanksgiving, we got the best Thanksgiving gift ever. The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled those hearings all unconstitutional. Unfortunately, the Social Security Administration, by the way, these people have been cut off without benefits for 3 years. Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, the Social Security Administration did not give up. They then asked the entire Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals to review the Hicks decision. So, by the way, Ms. Hicks is from Ewesville, and she'll go down in the law school history books in every law school in the country because of the law she made. The Hicks decision declared that statute unconstitutional. Of course, the SSA still wouldn't give up, wouldn't reinstate benefits, and then finally, they said, we're going to the U.S. Supreme Court, that the Amy Hicks decision was wrongly decided. And I don't know what happened. On the day we won a case in South Carolina that I went down and argued, the Solicitor General of the United States announced they're not going to appeal the Amy Hicks decision. It's final. The next day, Judge Hood, Judge Bunning, and 9 judges, federal judges in a row, have all ordered reinstated benefits to at least, we don't know how many, at least 300, as many as 400. What that means in English to our community and to the least among us is, if you run the numbers, some of these people, your typical Social Security disability client, are $1,700 a month. Some of these people have been without benefits 3.5 years. There's probably, let's say 350 are getting their benefits back by virtue of court orders. That's, according to Judge Williams and I, before the meeting ran the numbers, about $21 million. Probably 40% of those people live in this county. What I'm trying to get the word out is about $10 million is getting ready to come into this county probably in the next week or two. I got an email from the SSA. Of course, every day I get asked when the check's coming. We are working as quickly as possible, including to accomplish a reinstatement of benefits. The strange thing is, like I said to me, I don't know who these clients are. And I get calls every day. I don't mean to insult anybody or suggest, but there are literally people out there who have no idea this is happening. They're not on social media. They don't read the newspaper. They don't watch YMT. These people may not know their benefits are being reinstated. 99% of people get Social Security get it by direct deposit. What's going to happen in this county, the money is not coming by direct deposit. checks between $50,000 and $100,000 are going to come to the mailboxes. We've been trying to get the word out to people, make sure the SSA has your correct mailing address. I can think of 50,000 to 100,000 reasons why, and we are trying to get the word out. Having said all that, is the SSA done? Theoretically, they can put all of these people back through new hearings. Frankly, I'm worried about some of these people. We have had an epidemic in the last few days of the scammers calling these people. If you get a call from the Social Security Administration, it is not from them. The Social Security Administration does not call you. They mail you letters. And it is amazing. In other words, the scammers have already figured out the checks are going out. The Social Security Administration, as bad as they are, and they're bad, they do not issue arrest warrants. And that's what they're telling these people. Where you folks can help, and the media here, is get the word out to these people that the checks are coming. They need to be cautious with their money. They need to manage their money. And I have encouraged these people, don't tell anybody you're getting this money. But, for the sake of these vulnerable people, there's $10 million being dumped into this county. Appreciate it. Let me talk. Thanks, Judge.
Ned, thanks. We appreciate the information. Appreciate you taking the time to step up and help the folks in the community. Because like
the team, Judge.
I'm sorry.
Judge, I accept no congratulations. I'm part of the team.
Well, we want to congratulate the team then, because, like you said, a lot of these folks are some of the most vulnerable in our community, and if it wasn't for individuals like you or your team, they wouldn't get their benefits restored. So thanks. I do appreciate that.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay. Next, we've got the folks from Lifeguard. I think it's been pretty well documented here for the last few months. Some of the issues that we've had with the ambulance service. Lifeguard is newly acquired. TranStar Ambulance, they're going through some. We're going through a transition period. Is that the correct term? Where they're trying to get things, get operations back to where they need to be. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you all are the largest ambulance company in the United States. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So it's not really a matter of resources. It's just turned into a personnel issue at this point because of the regulatory environment. You just can't hire folks off the street. They have to be qualified. So I just want to thank you all for stepping up and attending our meeting and answering some of the questions that these folks have and explain your plan going forward, how you plan to address some of the issues that have popped up in the past.
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Judge. I'm not sure how I follow that news, but I'll do my best. So real quickly, I want to introduce myself to the board. My name is Josh Spencer. I'm the Regional Director of Operations for Lifeguard Ambulance Service. I live in Birmingham, Alabama. That's where my home office is. That's my corporate office where I work. However, I'm actually from here, and I want to go full circle just a minute and explain to you why that's important to me. I grew up in Knott County, Big Branch. Spent my whole life over there. I started working for Lifeguard Ambulance Service in 2001, or 2002 rather, and my career took me to Pensacola, Florida. From Pensacola, I lived there, worked there for about 13 years. In the last couple of years, I've been in Birmingham, Alabama. How they ever talked me out of leaving Pensacola and coming to Birmingham, that's still trying to figure that part out. But when I got to Birmingham, my region changed, and when that changed, East Kentucky became part of my region again. So what's neat about that is it's full circle for me, professionally and personally. Why that's important is I'm vested in this community. I don't want you to think that this is some big corporate, the largest EMS service in the nation is here This is home to me. I literally grew up here. The first movie I ever saw was out down here in Prestonsburg. So I mean, I'm telling you, this is home, and I'm deeply committed and deeply committed to fixing these problems, right? And it's not just me. The whole leadership team is local. So I want to just kind of set the stage by letting you know that this is home. This is personal. It matters, and we're going to fix it. So I want to tell you kind of a little bit who AMR and Lifeguard is, right? So yes, we're local people with national strength. That's kind of our catchphrase, right? So we are the largest EMS provider in the country. We operate under numerous different brands. Lifeguard Ambulance Service is one of those brands that we operate under. What that does, it gives us access to things that, smaller ambulance services just simply don't have access to, right? It's essentially buying power. There's 5 new ambulances sitting on North Lake Drive right now that we purchased. The problem is, we can't find people to put in them. I mean, there's a serious staffing shortage, and it's not local, it's a national problem. I oversee the entire state of Kentucky, Lexington, Louisville, Erlanger, Owensboro. This is not a Kentucky problem, this is not a Tennessee problem, this is a national shortage of EMS personnel. So we've been kind of tasked with how do we fix this? Because at the end of the day, they're no less important, and it's not the people who dial 911's problem that we don't have butts to put in seats, right? It's our problem, it's our responsibility to fix that. So what I wanted to say is, some really exciting things that are happening right now in this community, and I talked to Judge Williams about it recently, is starting Monday, we have 31 new employees, new hires, new academy, new recruits that are going through our EMT program. We've got permission to teach our own EMT course in-house so we can train our own people. What's relevant about that is that's 30 new jobs, right? That's 30 new jobs in the community. These are not people some of them never even thought about working in EMS. We're going to pay you to go to our academy to train, to learn how to be an EMT, and at the end of 12 weeks, you're going to start on the road as an EMT, as a new hire EMT. So that increases our workforce by approximately 20% at the end of that 12 weeks. We currently have 170 employees. We'll go up to a little over 200 after they complete the training. I think the city of Louisville may be in a similar pilot program that they've started or will be starting soon, but we're the only ones that I know of in the entire state of Kentucky that's doing this. So that's happening right down here on North Lake Drive where we're doing our EMT Academy starting Monday. So 31 new faces will be in class. Another thing we've done recently is, we realize that this is about creating a network of help, right? The problem isn't specific to EMS. The problem is not specific to EMTs and paramedics. It's also the rescue squads. It's the volunteer fire departments. Those numbers are down as well. I mean, it's just one of the, and that creates a larger scale problem for us. So, Bert and I were talking yesterday, how are we going to solve that problem, right? Can we put ambulances out there? Can we train their staff? So just yesterday, we launched an incentive program for our employees who are currently working for Lifeguard Ambulance Service. If they are an active member in a volunteer fire department, we will give them an extra $100 a month on their stipend that we will pay, so he can have more members in his volunteer and his rescue squad. Because what we realize is, there's going to be times it's going to take us a while to get there. That's just the nature of the business, unfortunately. But the more of these guys we can train, and the more of them that are using the same protocols, the same kind of equipment, they live in these communities and they're going to get there a lot faster than we are. So we want them to help. So what we're trying to do is incentivize our employees who live in these communities to also get involved in the rescue squads and the fire departments, because they're our employees. Now they're trained under our medical protocols. They know what to do, and now they're going to be able to help, right? So that's another way that we feel like we can solve this problem locally. It's not an overnight fix, and we've been in this community now as Lifeguard for a little over 5 months, I think. There's ebbs and flows in this industry, and we're currently in in the valley a little bit right now. But I want to stand here publicly in front of this court and this community to let you know that, number one, it's personal to me, and I'm not going to let it fail. I didn't come here to fail, and we're not going to let this fail. We're going to do whatever it takes to get the right people in these seats to put more trucks on these roads to take care of this community. And it is absolutely, it's vital. We understand it, and we're going to do whatever we can to fix the problem. Just as a side note, again, we've invested millions of dollars in capital already into the service right here. Like I said, there's 5 new ambulances sitting down there. There's been a tremendous upgrade in technology. We're able to monitor all the ambulances, see where they are. Our dispatch center has 4 or 5 EMD trained dispatchers around the clock. They're sitting there to dispatch our trucks. This is not something that we just arbitrarily said, let's go do it and see if it works. We have a tremendous investment in place here. So we are truly committed to fixing the issues and making it better. I just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of let you guys know who we are, where we're at, why we're here, and how we're going to get out of it, because it's important to us. It's very important to us. If there's any questions I can answer, I'm happy to, and I'll let these guys, the more local team, they can answer some questions as well, but happy to help in any way we can. And we want to be involved in these meetings regularly moving forward, so I believe in transparent communication. If we don't get to tell you our side of the story, you're only hearing one side of it, we're going to explain it to you. We'll be here regularly, we'll be presenting material to you guys, whatever you ask, whatever you need. We want to be a partner in this community, not just a you call, we haul, that's all kind of ambulance system. We want to be a healthcare partner that really helps solve these issues. And as you can tell, I'm passionate about it, so sorry. Again, this is home to me. And thankfully, this is in my region now, and I get to spend a lot more time here. But it really means something to me personally, that this community gets the absolute best of the best, and I'm very proud of that. So we're deeply committed.
One comment I would like to make that is encouraging. After our meeting, I guess it was approximately 2 weeks ago, you called the next day and said, "Hey, we've already diverted some folks back to Floyd County to help out."
Correct.
That's encouraging to me. I understand from a business standpoint. You have a business to run. I understand that. We are elected officials. We have to take care of our constituents, and it's a life or death situation. If one person falls through the cracks,
Sure.
It's a life or death situation. So we certainly want to work with Lifeguard to get everything lined out, get on track, and we understand there's obviously some personnel issues that have to be addressed, but we don't want to throw you under the bus. That's not what we're here for.
Sure.
We want to work with you. Let's get it right, and let's get it right as soon as possible.
We are best when you hold us accountable, and that's why I want to be here personally to introduce myself. I'll give every one of you my cell phone number. I'm a 7-hour drive from here, and I will get here as soon as I can. These guys are local, but this system will improve as we report to you and you ask us questions, and we work together to solve the problem. So I appreciate that. I want us to be held accountable.
Okay, thank you.
How many counties do you guys serve
So
in the eastern?
sure. So in Eastern Kentucky, I'm going to go in alphabetical order because Bert taught me this trick, right? So it's and I may get it messed up because anyway. So we got Knott County, Harlan County. I skipped one. Floyd, obviously.
Floyd.
Right? Floyd, Knott, Harlan, Leslie, McGoffin, and Pike.
So you got offices in each?
We do. We have offices in each of them. Each county also has what we call a QRV, or a quick response vehicle. Another one of the changes that we're implementing immediately is all of our EMS chiefs. Kenny's one of them here for Floyd County. They have their own vehicle, the Chevy Tahoe, it's equipped to respond to calls. So in the unfortunate event, we may have 10 trucks on the road and there's 11 calls all of a sudden. That happens.
Yeah.
So we have an 11th person who can now at least go start rendering aid. But yeah, we have an office in each of those, and each of those have an EMS chief or a captain or whatever that is responsible for overseeing that community. And Kenny's the person employed, and then they report to Bert.
So you're still housing up at Beaver, Left Beaver?
I'm gonna let Bert answer that.
My name is Bert Absher. I'm Director of Operations for Eastern Kentucky. Our Left Beaver operation, we're staffing the McDowell station as often as we can. More often than not, that truck will go up there and then we'll drop to a high call volume situation here in the city or out in the county and have to bring that truck back. So if you're ever driving by Martin or you're ever driving by McDowell and you see an ambulance sitting beside the road, they're not hiding from us. They've been staged so that if we have to get back there, we can. one of the things that we're gonna do to commit to that is I've been working with my managers. I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My phone doesn't stop. But I'm not often on the truck anymore. But I'm a qualified paramedic, and I'd like to think a pretty good one sometimes. So my managers, I've incentivized them to pick up extra shifts. Let's go get on the truck and cover 12 hours in Left Beaver at night. Josh and I, we're gonna launch another thing that he didn't talk about, and we're gonna call that a posting crew. I wanna hire 8 EMTs, and they're gonna work a different kind of shift. And we're gonna post them out in the county. They're not gonna sit at the station, they're gonna go to maybe to McDowell ARH or to Left Beaver Station 2, and for 12 hours, that's where they're gonna be. They're not gonna be put into our run volume unless we drop to level 0. And if we drop to level 0, we'll pull them back to Martin and use them accordingly. But as far as, do I have a truck there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? I don't. I don't have the staff to. Today, Kenny, how many trucks do we have on today? 5. We had 5 trucks on today. By region-wide, by 1 o'clock today, we've done 61 runs across the region. We average high 90s. I've seen 130 in one day. So my deployment model for Floyd County calls for 8 trucks.
8 trucks.
I've got empty trucks, folks. That kills my soul to drive by our station and see empty trucks. So as soon as that staffing model comes back, we want a truck at Wayland. We want a truck at Left Beaver. I want a truck at
Mud Creek.
Allen, Mud Creek, something that can get in that backside, the wheelwright there. We got to go visit wheelwright the other day. I haven't been to wheelwright since I was a kid, and obviously I forgot how far from city center that is. But Danny was a great host to us. We had some great discussion, and I think he's motivated us to try to do some different things. Just that networking, working with fire departments. Because we went with them, we had an ask when we went to them. We asked him, if we help you, can you help us? And his response was kind of hard to take. We can't help you if we ain't got nobody.
That's true.
So that's where Josh and I's conversation comes. How can we help our fire department?
Now, with those 31 folks that start Monday, are they gonna be, once they get through, are they gonna be in the 5-county area, or will they be
That's a great
deployed?
question. And we done this academy here in Floyd County, number one, because our administration building's just down the road. I've got a great classroom down there. We've got 4 EMT instructors that will be sharing that course, because those guys will be there Monday through Friday to make it every day. We're gonna do field trips with them. They're gonna go out and learn to operate the ambulance. A typical thing that happens with the EMT program is we get you through class and then we let you go. It takes 6 months to get through that class. And then Terry or one of my instructors becomes dependent upon the student to get registered for the test, to study and go take the test. All right, now you got your results back, you gotta contact the state and get all your credentials to the state. It can take another 6 months before they do that. This EMT academy, they're gonna go from the classroom out the door to an ambulance with an experienced EMT or paramedic sitting there waiting on them and go on a run. They'll be done in 12 weeks. They'll have all their administrative training done, all their operations training done. That's the key. So why did we advertise this for this area? The primary counties that these 31 will affect, number one is Floyd. Floyd is where I have my greatest staffing shortage. I have a staffing shortage in Pike. So the ones that live in Pike County may have an opportunity to go there. I think we got 4 from Knott County. My Knott County situation is pretty good. We got some from McGoffin County. We just signed a memorandum of agreement with an EMT program. Where's Morgan EMS. He has 6 students that are from McGoffin County. And I got real hungry to get all those 6 students to come to work for us. If they're from the county we serve, or even, we got people that drive from West Virginia to work for us. We're gonna go get those people. But the primary concentration of those 31 will be spread between McGoffin, Pike, and Floyd County. That's what 31 folks equals. That's 15 more ambulances that I can stand up on a week. That's 15 more shifts that I can cover. Man hours per week, I didn't do the math, but I should have, what that adds territorial. Because EMS has typically been a job. That's why nobody's there. I'm 27 years in this year. 30. Never mind, we won't ask you. Kenny's the original platinum. I have no retirement. 27 years and I had no retirement. Prior to April, I couldn't afford the company's health insurance. I applaud Alvin Lafferty. He done something that everybody around him closed up trying to do. But some of our benefits were unattainable. We couldn't offer people good insurance. We couldn't offer people retirement. Well, as we get older, when we're young, we look at that dollar hour amount. And as we get older, what's gonna benefit me? How's this company gonna pay me in a few years? Today, I have a fantastic retirement that I look at every week. It's growing. My company matches that retirement now. I have health insurance. I played a game the other day. I went to the doctor and told him I didn't have any insurance. They told me it's gonna be $240. I said, well, they did give me this card, and it was $6 to be seen. That's pretty quality health insurance. The difference between a job and a career is a career will take you places. What Josh didn't talk about is our helicopter service. Our employees can grow up under us and become flight medics. We have education trainers. We have so many different opportunities, and that's what people look for in a career field, is an opportunity to do something else.
What's age to sign up for the class or?
You have to be 18 years old
18.
before the end of the class. You have to have a high school diploma or a GED before the end of the class. Actually, under the academy, I think you have to have a high school diploma before you can get it, because we put you to work right then.
Yeah.
There's no age limit.
Yeah.
We have folks work for us on the truck on a 24-hour shift that were pushing 70 years old and probably outwork some of our younger generation, because let's face it, that generation knows how to work.
Yeah.
So the left beaver issue is extremely important to us. It's as important as Prestonsburg. But this company is very data driven, and we look at where hot spots are, and that's why we've started staging trucks. It's vital for me to have a truck out at Allen, because it can go so many different directions so quickly. The amount of time that it takes to get from Prestonsburg to the McDowell turnoff is critical. So I might not be able to put a truck at Beaver, but how much time did I save by putting that truck at McDowell? It's going to be a staging kind of thing. In some of our other models, the folks come into work, they clock in, they get in their ambulance, and they go park on the sidewalk. That's their station for the day. We got to make sure that they have a good quality ambulance that has excellent air conditioning or excellent heat that can sit there and run for 12 hours. We got to make sure they have the resources they need to take care of all the patients they need. These ambulances that we've got to come in town, some newer EMTs, some older EMTs, they've never had a new ambulance. We've replaced our cardiac monitors for $41,000 a piece, so that we have the latest, greatest technology. Our ventilators have been replaced and upgraded so that lots of folks don't go on a ventilator anymore. They go on something called BiPAP or CPAP for transfer to another hospital. We couldn't provide that service prior to this change. Now we can. Floyd County is unique in the fact that we've got 3 hospitals here. If those hospitals are having a bad day, guess what we're having? Worse. If it's raining, it's even worse. So we not only do 911, when you're critically ill at one of these hospitals and need to go to another hospital, we're taking those runs too. Our scheduled runs, what we told the judge, we're licensed in Johnson County, and I believe the folks in Johnson County are just as important as the folks in Floyd County. But we were often sending our Floyd County resources to take care of the hospital in Johnson County. We're not the primary provider there. That doesn't make them not important. It means that I'm pulling my resources back to Floyd County, where I'm your primary provider. We're all you got, so we're going to be all you need. That was strategic and that was hard. We took a real black eye over there. But we're not the primary provider. We service Whitesburg, ARH, and Letcher County as much as we can. We use resources from Harlan and Pike County to do that. I can't take away from Pike County to serve a county that I'm not obligated to operate in. but we're compassionate, I wanna help everybody. If you're laying in the hospital and you're in ABC hospital in XYZ city, I wanna find a way to get you where you need to be. It's a compassion-driven business. Unfortunately, we gotta appeal to the compassion of our citizens to join this service. We gotta give them reasons to. Josh has incentivized everything that we can to do that. But there's our Let the Beaver stand. Yes, it's important, we wanna get there, but I gotta get the staff to do
We
it.
gotta get the staff. So will they be after this class? Will they be another class in six,
Well,
seven,
we've
eight
had
months?
such
If
a-
people sign up to.
We've had such a fantastic response to this class that we've actually had to cut it off. You can't just keep taking and keep taking because an instructor can only take so many students.
Right.
10 per instructor.
10.
So we're at 31, and to be honest with you, I got 27 seats. So we're gonna have to find some chairs for them. And I don't anticipate this going away, and here's why. The most successful high school football program has an excellent middle school feeder program.
That's right, that's right.
We can't find, throwing more money out there is arbitrary. We're already probably the highest paid service in the region. When you figure our benefits package in, nobody can compete with us.
So what's the number that you guys are trying to reach for us, employees and ambulances and?
I think 200 is a sweet spot for us right now,
200.
and I think this new class puts us at 201.
201?
Now, there will be attrition over time, it happens,
Yeah.
right? But we're always accepting applications. I think we got a text on the way in here, hey, how do I apply for a job? So we're always accepting applications. They're really, it's one of those industries where as many as will come, you can hire them, and you just keep the cycle going, right? But yeah, 200 is a pretty good spot for us for our entire region. But if we could have 250 or 350, I promise you we would. So I think that's where we're trying to get creative solutions, like how can we help the fire departments improve their numbers? Let's send those guys to the EMT Academy next. So now we got EMTs in the fire department. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Now we create a public safety network in the outlying communities that will help. So, and as a matter of fact, I think about 30% of the staff we had, the class that's coming on starting Monday, I think 8 or 10 of those are volunteer firemen right now. So, I mean, that's, y'all see why I don't let Bert talk much, he talks too much, right? But I mean, I want you to know we're passionate about it. We care. I promise you we care. And we want to solve this and fix this problem. Again, this is not specific to Floyd County, Kentucky. I have the exact same conversation in Nashville, Tennessee, and everywhere else we operate. There's an industry shortage, so we're trying to come up with creative ways to strengthen our system. And I think the volunteer fire department, helping those guys help us, and then the academies is absolutely the path forward. So you think, I'll say one more thing about Let Beaver and Everest real quick. So if you think about it, it's almost like if you take the entire county of Floyd County and you take 10 dots and you put 10 dots, that equals your ambulance. Where is the next call likely to come out? Well, that's where the most people live or the people work or whatever. So you want to keep, and I'm sure Sheriff Hunt probably has the exact same scenario when you have, if this is where the resources need to be, because at this time of day, you're more than likely to get a call on 23 because everybody left work and the people are wrecked. That's the way it works. So how do we take our resources and use the data we've given, bring them into the Corps and take them out of the Corps? So if you have 8 trucks in the system today and there's no calls going on, it makes every sense in the world to strategically place them around the county so they can all get to one spot. When you get down to 1 truck, that needs to be close to the center where it's just, that's simple logistics. That's what UPS does or FedEx, right? That's the same concept. So, while we want to have, I would love to have a truck line. I told Judge, if it feels up to me, I would put an ambulance on every street corner in this county. That doesn't make a lot of sense though, financially. So we want to get them as many places as we can so they can get there as fast as they can. And, we do want to help. I want that to be very, very clear. So that's a long answer to a very short question. I apologize. Thank you for taking the opportunity.
Any other questions?
One last short thing
I told you can't talk anymore.
that we forgot about, we can't leave this out. We came to fiscal court meeting last night, and unfortunately, the only person we got to see was the sheriff. So we started talking, because this is the great thing about AMR lifeguard. And Josh asked the question, what do you need? Do y'all have AEDs? Because your folks are out there. Last night at the start of the conversation, he told us what he needed. He needed AEDs for his cruisers. Josh grabs his email, sends an email. Today, 10 AEDs were shipped to Floyd County. They'll be here tomorrow. And the sheriff will have.
Thank you.
80
Appreciate
for
that.
cruisers.
Appreciate that.
So they're the first guy out there. Those are quick fixes. That was so simple. Nobody else has done that before. That's what we're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Just keep us updated. Any information you can pass along, milestones, any way we can assist, please keep us in the loop.
Thanks, sir.
Judge,
Thank
can
you.
we get on the mailing list or the notification list for the fiscal court meetings? How do we do that?
That'd be Anna. You can just call the main office, 886-9193. She can get you information.
If nobody else has any questions for me, I'm going to head to Birmingham. I get my wisdom teeth cut out tomorrow, so I'm tickled to death about that. So
Thank you. Have a safe trip.
Thank you all.
All right, next is the citizens comments. Ms. Blackburn. Come on up, Ms. Blackburn. You're number one. Good to see you today.
I didn't want to make a speech, you just don't decide that.
Oh, well, I thought you had something to say. You have anything?
On 122, where the road is, the dirt is under the road, and the road is broke off on 122.
We're at up on 122.
It's all up 122, at least as far as I live, correct.
Uh-huh.
And the trees that are on the lines over the roads, it's going to get somebody killed. I don't know if the road department needs to take care of that or whatever, but, have these yellow lines there, when it rains, you can't see nothing on the road.
Yeah. That's unfortunately, that's the state highway. But we do meet with them periodically, and they ask for input from us. So that's some of the things that, we need to address. Mark works for the electric company. Mark, on these trees, I know that seems to be a recurring issue. Is the electric company, are they responsible for cutting those back? How's that responsibility?
Depends on what right of way they maintain. Most time it's 30 to 50 feet. I know with the Big Sandy, you maintain a 30-foot right of way. And that's coming from ground to sky. Anything hangs over, that's what they're responsible for.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say that the state is too. They've got the manpower and money to do it.
Our next meeting we have with the state, we will bring that up to address that issue. Good to see you. Ms. Mullins.
Alrighty, so we already got some good news already about the floor. I'm afraid to touch it, it looks like it's gonna fall. About getting the floor, for the community center, which is awesome. But another reason actually I'm up here, I kind of wanted to send out a thank you to the community. Last time I had talked about an Operation School Drive that we had offered to some children in the community of Floyd County. Our total number was 112 kids were fully sponsored, and that was outfits, underwear, socks, shoes, book bag, and there's certain schools, certain classrooms, school supply list filled. That was 112. We had an additional 55 kids that were like just school supplies or just outfit, like between that. We kind of did the math. It was over $11,200 worth sponsored, and then an additional over $800 sponsored by Grace Way with shoes. And we just kind of wanted to send out a thank you for the community, because a lot of people stepped up and, gave a lot of kids, almost 175 kids, a better day for the first day of school. So we're just kind of thankful for the community. All the ladies, my rock star ladies that had worked with me, Lynn Case, Renee Thornsbury Martin, she does insanely amount of stuff. Jessica Hatfield and all the nurses basically up at Prestonsburg Hospital, they are kind of the ones that helped us start it.
a few years ago, and they're the major ones that sponsor. So all them up there were really awesome. And then like Rita did all the shopping for a lot, but she ended up having to shop for 25 plus different kids. And she organized it like crazy, and just everyone with the food pantry up there, Heaven Harvest. But I just kind of wanted to send out a thank you to them and kind of let everyone in the community know that we have some really awesome people here that try to help the kids. And I love the way that we're going right now, that everyone's starting to realize that the kids need to be the focus of everything. Because I feel like the kids get lost in a lot of the politic game, and, you know, because it all ends up coming down to taxes and money, when we really need to think about what future are we leaving these kids and what are we offering these kids right now. And I'm just kind of happy about where we're going right now.
Well, thank you, appreciate it. And I appreciate you putting together the event. I know it is always a big hit. We try to participate, my wife and I do each year. But thank you. Next, Mr. Hall.
Yeah, my name's Donald Hall, and I was wanting to address the issue that was already going over here earlier about the garbage issues or whatever and all that. You know, 42 years ago, I worked as a sanitation engineer. I was in the Wayne County area of Michigan, which takes in roughly, I don't know how many different little cities or whatever out here, whatever. And in that area there, whatever, they had these dumpsters all over the place where people could take and dump their stuff, whatever it may be, whatever is considered garbage. If it's coming out of your house, it's garbage. And if we couldn't pick it up and put it in the back of a truck, then they would send the man out with a pickup truck, and he would go out and pick this up. Now, this is 42 years ago that I did this. Here we are here in eastern Kentucky, and we're talking about the cleanup and everything. You know, and I think, you know, what do we need to do here to make the bluegrass of Kentucky blue again? And we need to step up to the plate, move on the ancient ages here, whatever. Do what we need to do to get this area going and get it cleaned up. A few garbage bags, I mean, just a little 3-mile area that where I live, I picked up 16 bags up in that little place there myself, me and a few people. But the thing about it is, that's not going to stop it. When it comes down to the furniture and appliances and stuff like that, people just ain't got nowhere to put it, and they're going to have to dump it out in the yard or do something with it. The garbage levels we got was we know don't want to pick this stuff up. It's like they're limited on what they want to pick up, and the way I see it, if it's garbage, it's garbage. They're supposed to be responsible on picking this stuff up. And I was thinking, you know, we should move that. The county should get a couple of dumpsters, just a couple to start off with. You can place them anywhere you want to. 1 month at Prestonburg, another month on Mud Creek, another month over at Martin, wherever you want to. Put them over there, post it on Channel 5, dump it, anything you want to get rid of, take it there, get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? That way it'll make it easier. It's not right that we pay a bill as it is anyway, and then if we want to dump something, we have to go over there and we still got to pay another bill. That's not right. You know, that ain't good. That ain't, you know, good business really, because we're just paying somebody else for the lunch for them, paying their gas for the day or for a week or who knows whatever, and it's not right to the Floyd County people that's residents of the county or whatever. You know, and to me, you know, I mean, here I am, you know, I know what it's like to do the job 42 years ago, and I know what I did then. Why are we here still having to deal with an issue here today when I know the board members could do this, they're working hard to do what they can do and everything, but, you know, to move Floyd County on up and make it stand out in the state as being one of the cleanest places to come to and visit and whatever. I mean, I think we need to do something like this to make it, and take the next step. Like I said, that way people be wanting to throw in, put the signs up, whatever, you know, throw trash in this place, you know, put it in, you know, wherever you need to go, you know. And if you got these dumpsters, whatever, they can dump anything else that need to be dumped that way. And that way it won't get piled up on somebody's land or wherever they decide to throw it in the first place. Up there where I'm at, It's a local Floyd County dump as up there or whatever, because they can go up there from Pike County or anywhere, as long as they can go up there after dark, and they can throw it over the hill. And, that's been a big issue for as long as I can remember, because I've lived up there ever since I was born, pretty much. So, I'm just trying, I know we got a great staff and board members here, whatever, that can move on this issue and get this done. And, we own the real estate. I know these guys can go out there and move these dumpsters and take them to the scrapyard and get money off of them, they're too heavy to do that kind of stuff with, So, I move that, if the board would do it or something, move on that issue and work with that, just play with it some, whatever, and see if it don't help Floyd County, help get it cleaner, whatever will help, that's what matters. A few garbage bags is one thing, but when the people can start pitching in and doing their part because they got a place to take it to, it's a different, it's a whole new ballgame.
Sure.
So.
But we'll take it under consideration. A couple things.
On that dumpster issue, we done that when I first come in office about 12 years ago for a couple of summers. And we had problems. I don't know if I know Dale can remember it, but they started the fire. They dumped it. There was garbage everywhere. And somebody started a fire, and we had one at the mouth of Branham's Creek, one at Tinker Fork, and they started a fire. And we had the office time. We like to never got it.
What you call the thugs going out there just to have a good time.
Yeah, it was
if it gets dumped regular and everything, I went on the truck, with the trucks and had to go and dump these things myself, you know what I mean? If I did it back then, I know we can move on past that issue and getting it done today. There's too many other guys out there that need to work right now and everything, and then they can go and they'd be willing to do the job if, they do it regular, weekly and everything, And if it's owned by Floyd County or whatever, it'd be there for the people to do their part, pitch in, do the job, get it done.
We got
the bluegrass Kentucky.
We got a couple things that kind of work against us here. The fact is we don't have our own landfill, and we don't own our own dumpsters.
Well, we need to work on that.
The landfill, we just have a transfer station up there. But a couple things that we are doing is we're trying to have a spring cleanup and a fall cleanup so we can get that trash that needs to be taken care of. You can haul it to the landfill for free. We're going to do that twice a year. Yes, yes. And we are trying to work with folks, elderly folks that can't get stuff hauled off. Joe goes out of his way to help these folks. They call the office all the time. It's difficult for him to do what he does, drop what he's doing, run to Wheelwright, pick up someone's trash, run back down to Prestonsburg or over to Harold. But we do it.
We're personally at times myself, when I used to have a little truck and everything and all that. And I've been asked to help do it before myself. I went over there and actually had to go over to the dump, and then I had to pay to do the dumping and everything like that myself, And I thought, that was pretty odd, because I pay a bill as it is anyway. And that's a big issue right there. We can't do that in Floyd County, but they can in Pike County. What's the difference,
Yeah.
Well, we're residents here just the same as those residents there, So we need to move on the issue on trying to change
now, also, we do have some dumpsters at the mouth of some haulers now that the trucks can't go up. And in all honesty, it's a mess. We're close to other counties that don't have adequate service, and they bring them across the county lines. We've had to get animal carcasses. Joe, last week, we had to send him up to pick up beds. They just come and lay them beside the dumpsters. So we do have some dumpsters out now. If we tried to do it the whole county, we'd be full-time trying to maintain those dumpsters. But here's the other thing, too. You was talking about Pike County. Pike County does it. Our trash bill is about $10 a month less than what it currently is in Pike County.
Well, for the cleanup part, it'd be worth the extra $10 just for the cleanup.
Yeah,
It would be
Yeah.
that just for the cleanup. I mean,
Yeah.
if it showed proof within a certain amount of time, would it be worth
Yeah.
it?
yeah.
You know, if we got the contractor that's done the job according to what it should be.
We'll look into it and see if there's something that we can come up, some type of resolution. I mean, maybe,
I gotta come in, film what he's doing, because if he's going out doing that and everything, whatever, that tells you right there. There's people out there doing the job, there's people willing to do the job, but, they can't go out of their own pockets all the time, and a lot of them can't afford it no way. And that's where the biggest issue right there, a lot of them can't afford it no way. Whether it's that on a fixed income, or by the time they pay bills and do whatever else they gotta do, they really ain't got much to work with. This is like my sister up there above where I live, there's like 2 or 3 other people putting their garbage on her garbage, whatever, but they're not picking her garbage up because all these other people are putting their garbage on or whatever. And I was thinking, we need to have a thing like we used to have a number of years back or whatever, where they had like a tag system or something other or whatever. They had a way of special marking your personal garbage, whatever.
Yeah.
And that way the people that ain't paying the bill, you don't have to worry about them, but the ones that are, those are the ones you deal with, and the other ones you're sitting there or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, something like that needs to be done because this they're paying a bill, and these other people ain't, but they won't pick her garbage up because everybody else has got theirs there because
Yeah.
they're not paying the bill. And they go out there at midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, take their garbage away, haul it on her bin, expecting it to get picked up. That's just not right.
Sure.
This is a 60-some-year-old woman that's needing surgery in herself right now, and she can't run up down a hill or stay up all night watching her garbage bin.
Yeah.
So there should be some kind of solution to try to deal with that, to deal with these people doing this.
okay. Well, we appreciate your input. We certainly take it under consideration and see what we can come up with.
Well, I was thinking about that sticker thing, whatever we did.
Okay.
I mean, it worked before, why not now?
Yeah. Well, appreciate you coming out, Mr. Hall. Thank you.
That's all right,
Joe will sing him down.
He took minutes, 2 minutes too.
Okay, we have anything for executive session? Nothing. Okay, thank you. Any old business we need to discuss? Magistrates? Okay, new business, transfers. Resolution 1. Get a motion to approve the transfers?
Motion.
Second.
All right. Next, we have the, I'm sorry, Myra. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Magistrate George Usley,
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Tackett,
Yeah.
and Magistrate Ronnie Yeager.
4.
Okay, next we have Resolution 2, claims list. Got a motion?
Everybody had the updated claims.
Motion.
Second. Myra, you want to call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Crider,
4.
Magistrate George Usley,
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Tackett,
Yeah.
and Magistrate Ronnie Yeager. 4.
Next, we have the Mountain Comp Grant.
Motion.
Second.
Myra, you want to call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Crider,
4.
Magistrate George Usley,
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Tackett,
Yeah.
and Magistrate Ronnie Yeager.
Okay, let me get to the next resolution. First question on it.
4.
Resolution 4. Any questions on that, gentlemen? This is a resolution, each of the counties that are going to be participating in the East Kentucky Mountain Regional Recreation Authority. This is the group that was created by the legislature in Frankfort to work on the ATV trails here in eastern Kentucky. I think we currently have, 13 counties, David, that's participating? They've all agreed to kick in $5,000 each to hire a director until the funding comes through at the first of the year. And that's what this resolution is for.
Where are they gonna be, stationed at, Judge?
They're going to be based out in Knott County, up at the ATV Center.
Is that director come from Floyd County?
The position is being posted on the state website.
Who's gonna hire?
Department of Local Government, and they actually have a board. The Kentucky Regional Recreation Authority does have a board. That's the way So I'm assuming the board will make the decision on the hiring process. What they're trying to do is basically get some funds to bridge the gap to the first of the year. If they can get started on this. They wanted to get this thing going this fall, but it looks like it's going to be kicked back to the spring because of some of the issues, some of the legal issues that have come up. They had to.
Has each county got a board member?
No.
No?
No.
There's 13 counties, I mean, but we're the only other county that's not done to 5,000.
What they originally did, Ronnie, we don't have a voting board member on the board currently.
We don't?
We do not, no. It was originally set up based on the, what they call it, Skyview Trail System that was based for Prairie Knott, Breathitt, and McGoffin County. And we currently don't have anyone on the board, but we do have a lot of representation there. My brother Charlie, he's very active in it. Representative Lafferty, she's very active in it.
That's a meeting we sit in at the conference.
Correct, yes, yes. We get a motion?
Motion.
Second? Got it, Mike seconded. Mary, you want to call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Ryder.
Four.
Magistrate Floyd Usley.
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
And Magistrate Ronnie Evans.
Okay, next is the bids for the sheriff's new vehicles. Well, you gotta wait till you open, Mike. But Mike, noted, Mike. All right. All right, this one is from Kane Ford. 42,652, $42,652.
From Kane?
Jack Kane Ford.
Jack Kane Ford. That's what, now that includes the uplift, the upgrades on yes. That's the total. The vehicle itself, 36,700, and the accessories were 59,52, which came to a total of 42,652. Next is Paul Miller Ford. Okay, we've got a little bit of a difference here. They did not, John, they didn't include, Sheriff, they didn't include they just give a vehicle price of $37,545. Yeah, it's higher than the vehicle itself. Okay, $37,545.
What was the first one on this?
The 36,700 was Kane Ford, so Kane Ford's actually cheaper.
36,500.
Did you get that, David? Okay.
36,700.
36,700 was Kane Ford just for the vehicle. For Paul Miller, for the vehicle, was 37,545. Kane Ford did include the upgrades necessary, which was another 59,5230.
Grants for 21,800, the sheriff's department's paying for the rest of it, so.
Okay. Yes. That's only two bids we got, yes. All right, so we're going to make a motion to accept the Kane Ford. Second. Second. Mary, you want to call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Ryder.
Four.
Magistrate George Usley.
Yes.
Magistrate
Sheriff, you did want the one with the upgrades, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Okay, next we have the bids for the senior citizens vehicle.
Motion.
Gotta open it first.
Everybody's anxious to get out of here. Okay, we have one bid from Pop Chevrolet for $46,890. That's for the two vehicles, correct?
That's for two.
That's for two, yes, sir. That's two 2020 Chevrolet Equinoxes, all-wheel drive. We get a motion to accept? Second?
That the only bid we got?
That's it, it's on the bid we got,
Oh,
correct.
okay, yeah.
Mhm.
George second.
Robert says.
I thought we had one.
That's the only bid we have.
It's the only bid we had on the Chevrolet, yes.
Who made the motion on ours?
Mike and Rob.
And Robbie. And
You roll call?
no.
We call roll, Myra, please.
Master Mark Ryder.
Four?
Master Floyd.
Yes.
Master Mike Hackett.
Yeah.
And Master Moore.
Okay, guys, next is the community center, the floor for the community center.
Motion.
Let's open the bid first. Okay, this is for, yes, we do. We actually have four bids, but they're different. The bids are different in the way they are. The first is from Signa Sports,
How you spell it?
SIGNA. It's for $64,431.
64,431.
Yes. We did not receive any samples. They didn't send anyone out to look at what we had up there because we got a unique situation with the floor up there. We asked them to send someone out because we've got some issues that's going to have to be addressed with the floor and stuff. So we didn't get any samples or no one came out. They just submitted the bid. That was $64,431 for Cigna. Next is AIP. They actually submitted two bids. The first bid was for $54,895. That was on the flooring that it was like a vinyl flooring with a rubber backing. We don't think that's probably going to be the best product because of the durability issue, and you still have some water issues with that. Because it's got the rubber backing on it. But now the second bid that they submitted was $48,370. That is for the waterproof flooring, the tiles that we're trying to get. They didn't submit any samples or have anyone to come out and talk to us about that. That's not a product that they were familiar with. They're wanting to sell the vinyl product, but that's something that they can pick up at a wholesale and sell it to us. And again, that second bid was $48,370. Next is Snap Sports. Snap Sports. Bid was $51,500. The thing I liked about this one was that the folks they sent out, they would do the $51,500 for the flooring. They would also do the self-leveling, and all of it was covered by warranty for 16 years. It was 100% covered for 16 years, the flooring and the tile itself. It's full waterproof. It can be submerged in a pool, and it doesn't affect it. And that's one of the reasons I think that we need to go with the Snap product rather than the rollout product because of the durability and the flooring issues that we have up there. But they sent an individual out. They explained it all to us, laid it out for us, how to do it. It's a nice floor. I'm impressed with it, and we have some literature here if you need to look at it. But that one's 51.5, and like I said, they'll do the self-leveling also for another 19,000 on top of that. And they was the only one that gave us a bid for the self-leveling. We tried to get bids ourselves for the self-leveling, and we had 4 people show up and look at it. They never gave us a bid, so they didn't show up. They don't want to do it. It must be a difficult process. The next bid was from Aztec. It was for $49,704. $49,704. They also have the SNAP product as well, but they did not have the self-leveling quote to go along with, like the SNAP Sport did.
How much was the seven?
19,000, yes.
You got, actually, the 75,000 grant's gonna cover.
Yes, we got the grant from Rural Development.
Cover the 70,500 from SNAP Sport to level it, give us a
Correct.
16-year warranty and do it all.
A 16-year warranty, they do it all. We can get this thing wrapped up where we've got 90% of the work done. We just need to get the flooring and tie up some loose ends, and we're ready to go.
How much is, what we spend up there, Judge, after this 75,000?
After you spend this 75,000, you're gonna have over 100,000 in it.
100?
You're gonna have over 100,000.
All the plumbing was tore up.
Well, what happened, we thought we'd get up there and just get in there and paint it. When we start tearing the walls out, we probably, I don't know, probably ran out about 25, 30 snakes we encountered in the walls and the ceiling. All the plumbing was destroyed. We had to replace all the plumbing. We had to spray foam on the plumbing that we really wasn't anticipating. We thought we could just go and correct it because we'd actually had them send a light or the scope down in it and look at it. But what happened is those walls are they're just tin. There's no barrier. We could fix it, but we're going to have to go back and fix it again the next big freeze we have. So there's no reason to waste taxpayer dollars and just go in and patch it up. Everything that's been done up there, it's going to last from 20, 30 years. We've done it right.
So did you get the water situated out back to where it don't come in?
We've got the ditch dug out back. We're going to be pouring concrete. Yes, we have.
So what do you think, maybe 150,000 what we spent after the floor?
I don't think it'll be that much. I don't have the totals on it. David, can we get totals on that?
We've got an account number Stevie's been charging everything to, 01 or 04. We've spent 38,000, looks so far, it's 38 plus the 70, around 100,000.
Yeah. Be just over 100.
They paid $100,000 one time just to get it floored, didn't they?
Paid 100,000 to get the last floor put down. They paid 100,000 for the last floor.
68,000.
We've done that floor twice.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about this floor is it can be fully submerged in water. They have it at the YMCA in Pikeville, and water doesn't affect it. Water doesn't affect it. So we're paying a little more money. Everything's done right. We don't have to worry about these issues going forward. I think the snaps, in my personal opinion, I think the snap sport is the one that's going to fit our needs best. Anybody want to make a motion to accept?
Make a motion.
Mike. Mary, you want to call roll, please?
Master Mark Ryder.
Four.
Master George Usley.
Yes.
Master Mike Tackett.
Yeah.
And Master Ronnie Yeager.
So we're doing a check payable to $70,500 for it all, is that what you're trying to?
Yes.
Did they give you a time frame on when they can start and when they can?
Well, that was one of the things that we asked is he said they would move it up hopefully in the next 3 weeks. Yeah, we told them we want to get this thing open. We can get maybe let some of these kids play some basketball in there and stuff. Okay, so let's see. Myra, you called roll? Yes.
I did.
Okay. Next we have Resolution 8. This is on the agreement with Mr. Webb to help out with the drainage. I think George, Mark looked at it. What he's wanting to do is construct a metal fabrication facility. We have an old drain that runs across the property. He's agreed to create 25 new jobs over the next 3 years. It's going to be aluminum manufacturing. He's going to be doing the trailers, like the Gator trailers.
How many years?
Over the next 3 years.
3 years. What if he don't pay it?
Well, in the agreement, Keith can explain how we prorated the agreement based on the number of jobs that he will or will not create.
And Ronnie, I prepared an agreement that essentially would require them to reimburse the county their costs if they don't create those jobs. In proportion to the number of jobs. They agree to create 25. If they don't do it at all, then they owe us back 100% of our money. If they create 15, then they owe us back 40% of our money, et cetera. Now, that's obviously subject to whatever changes you all may choose to make. That was just a proposed agreement.
What we're looking at, Ronnie, is about $10,000 in drainage.
But what I'm saying, that's private property. We're not allowed to work on private property.
That pipe, it drains eastern. It's the main creek comes out eastern town.
It is.
And it is bad and stopped up, and it's bad. And that's the only way you got to get the water out eastern on that drain.
Well, I'm all for the jobs, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. I just don't want nobody to get in trouble. You got a judge over in Breathitt County that's indicted for $700 and on bridge boards, and I just don't want to see nobody get in trouble. And if it's legal,
Well, it's the creek, and we put the drain tiles in. We're maintaining the drains now.
Well, and not only that.
We're maintaining them.
There's the economic development issue that underlies that. As I remember, Judge, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you had some conversation with Department of Local Government.
Yes, we did.
And they
That's fine.
That's
fine.
We done the same.
We can support, we can help.
We done the same type of stuff up at Worldwide. There.
We did the same thing at RNS Truck Line.
Yeah, RNS Truck Line, same thing.
A motion, boy. Second.
well, I just don't want, if it's legal,
What
I'm all
account,
for
and,
it.
what fund will this be coming out of?
Probably.
Will it be economic development or anything?
We got.
What David, actually, David, if you remember, we had talked about maybe even some of the co-severance money that we had still laying there for worldwide equipment that was not used. There was $30,000 that was still allocated, same situation with worldwide equipment.
Yeah, and I've actually.
The work we would, see, that was another one that we did some private work for also. And you can do it if it's for economic development.
Single county co-severance money.
Correct. Mayor, you want to call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Ryder.
Four.
Magistrate George Usley.
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Tackett. And Magistrate Ronnie Yeager.
Probably special projects, hold forward.
All right, next is the sheriff's tax settlement. Get a motion to accept? Second? Mayor, you want to call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Ryder.
Four.
Magistrate George Usley.
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Tackett.
Yeah.
And Magistrate Ronnie Yeager.
Next is Resolution 10. This is payment of the tax bills and the postage.
Motion.
Second.
Mayor, you want to call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Ryder.
Four.
Magistrate George Usley.
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Tackett.
Yes.
And Magistrate Ronnie Yeager.
Next is Resolution 11, which is the acceptance of the tax rates, which there's no change.
Motion.
Second.
Myra, you want to call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Ryder.
Four.
Magistrate George Usley.
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Tackett. Magistrate Ronnie Yeager.
Next is Resolution 12. This is acceptance of the tax rates for the fire taxing districts. Mike made the motion, got a second?
Second.
Myra, you want to call roll, please?
Magistrate Mark Ryder.
Four.
Magistrate George Usley.
Yes.
Magistrate Mike Tackett.
Yeah.
And Magistrate Ronnie Yeager.
And next is Resolution 13.
There may be a change on that, Judge. The school board's not met yet, but the superintendent said I can send a letter over saying instead of 69.22, it may be 69.1.
Oh, so that's not been voted on?
They don't have their meeting for the 26th.
Okay,
But
okay.
That's what it was last year, is what's down there.
Okay, so they think that there might be a 1/10 of 1% reduction?
Yes.
Okay. We're not, well, what we're gonna do is not vote on that one. Is that correct?
No, you're just basically voting to accept their rates to put on the tax bill, whatever that tax district makes it, we don't get a set their tax.
All the point is you want this document to be accurate.
Well, we'll just write in a one if you want to, whatever you want.
Well, we don't know that.
What if they raise it? What if they raise it?
I hate to see you put in a document that's approved by the fiscal court as the agreement.
Well, David, is there a reason that we need to, can we just lay this over?
Well, other than the sheriff's trying to send the tax bill out sooner so that we give the citizens, what is it, another
1 month.
Another month, basically.
So you're trying to get them out in September rather than October?
Yes.
With the bill will go out at the end of September, we hope that this year for the first time ever to start collections in the month of October.
Well, I think based on the recommendation of Keith, what we probably need to do is let's just set this aside, and if we have to have a special meeting.
Let's ask John an important question. That is, if the Board of Education doesn't meet until the 26th of August, unless they approve whatever rate it is that enough time to get your bills printed in order for that bill, all the tax bills to go out in time?
Yes, if we can get it done as soon as they set their rates, if you have a meeting.
So we sort of need to have a little special meeting after they
Yes,
set the
once
one.
that's done.
Okay.
We can do
Yeah,
it.
we could do that, David. Let's go ahead and table that,
Okay.
and we'll just have to have a special meeting to get that finalized, okay? All right, magistrates, do you have anything you want to add, Mark?
Just give you an update here on District 1. Currently, we've been concentrating on catching up on our pothole repair. We should be about 90% complete with that at this point. Or it should be 100% complete with our roadside weed control, except for maybe just a little bit of spot work here and there. We've sprayed 80 miles down here, spent less than $500, which calculates to be about $6.25 a mile for roadside weed control. I think Dale is, and some of the guys, how many went down and got tested, how many we got licensed to spray in the county? We've got 3 more million licensed to spray. With our base money, we've got some plans on here to try to stretch it out as far as we can here. We're going to try to resurface 4 roads in New Allen, that'll be Maple, Angie Street, Hill Street, and Lawrence Hall Estates up on Reynolds Hill. Also Travis Drive on 1428, or some people call it Speed Harris Drive, in real bad shape. Also, I'd like to thank the District 1 crew and myself. I'd like to thank Judge Williams and the rest of the fiscal court here for the new excavator. It's made us be a lot more efficient without being broke down, and it's really helped us down here to better serve the citizens of District 1. And I myself, I took it on myself to do some energy audits on, I've only got a couple of parks here in District 1. I've been looking into German Bridge Campground, going to make some changes over there. I think potentially over the next year at this time, we should save over $5,000 in electric utilities over there.
Good.
And with your all's permission, I'd like to make a look into some of the senior citizens.
Absolutely,
Other
yes.
parts, Allen and stuff, for some of the lighting and stuff, for some ways.
I'm sure the taxpayers of Floyd County appreciate that.
I'll be happy to help.
Thank you. Sure do. Is that it, Mark? George, got anything you need to add? How's everything going in District 2?
I'll make it later.
Mike? Anything in District 4? Good. I do have one thing I do want to add. I do want to thank the magistrates. We're getting a lot of good positive feedback from everyone in the community that the work's getting done. And that we only accomplish these things by working together. I know I get a lot of, I have folks ask why I'm not in office, but you're gonna see in a few days why we're not in office. You're gonna see some of the things that's going on. We're gonna have some announcements. We're in Frankfurt. The money's in Frankfurt. The money's not in Prestonsburg. We gotta get down there and develop relationships. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing the money to Floyd County so I can give it to these magistrates that they can put it in these roads, these communities. But I appreciate everything the magistrates do. They're doing a good job. Meeting is adjourned. Or wait, we need a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Mike.